Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Equityverse. Today, we're going to talk about Tesla, price discovery mode. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. The Telegram channel is actually a link to Into the Equityverse Telegram channel, not the more typical one, Into the Cryptoverse. All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about Tesla. We're also going to talk about it with respect to Bitcoin as well. This isn't a cryptocurrency YouTube channel at its core, but really the purpose is to make money. And if you can make money in things besides crypto, then they are worth considering, right? I know a lot of people live in this crypto bubble that you can only make money in crypto. That's simply not true. And we're gonna talk about that in this video. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Now, earlier this year, Tesla saw a valuation close to around $900 before a pretty significant pullback down to the lower 500s. Now, remember, there was a stock split earlier on. So when you're looking at this chart, you might not remember some of these prices as you remember them back then. But again, there was a stock split, and this is all accounted for with that. Now, Tesla now is in price discovery mode, and it goes, again, it's coming on the back of Hertz ordering 100,000 cars, right? We know that there's a decent chance that this rally is fueled by the fact that is coming, and that Tesla sales are just continuing to grow, despite the fact that they're raising prices on their cars. So you have to consider that there are ways to make money in things besides crypto. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, look, Bitcoin gives better returns. You're probably saying Bitcoin gives better returns. And my argument is, look, over the macro scale, Bitcoin has given better returns since Bitcoin has been around. But if you just look at the last market cycle for Bitcoin, right, which again, a lot of you have only been around crypto for the last market cycle. If you only look at the last market cycle, Tesla has actually been keeping pace with Bitcoin. That might seem crazy. Look at the chart for Bitcoin over this market cycle. All right, so just look at this for 1 minute. Just humor me. You can see this fairly parabolic rally by Bitcoin that happened in late 2020, early 2021. But just look at the general trend that Bitcoin has been on. And you might say, well, Ben, there's just simply no way Tesla has kept up with that. Well, in fact, don't take it up with me. Take it up with the data. If you take the Tesla Bitcoin valuation since this market cycle, what do you notice? It's been keeping pace with Bitcoin. Look, if this is going down, it means Bitcoin's outperforming Tesla. If it's going up, it means Tesla's outperforming Bitcoin. There are several times here where Bitcoin has underperformed Tesla. That's just a fact. It's just a fact. So I know you might be inclined to say things like, well, you know, the whole FUD earlier this year by Elon and whatnot is what caused the dip by Bitcoin from 64 back down to 29K. I don't think that's true. Like, I just simply don't think that's true. And I said back in April, that we were ahead of schedule for Bitcoin in terms of the market cycle. We were ahead of schedule. We needed a summer lull. We needed 3 to 6 months of a pullback. We said this before that happened. We were also in the highest risk band for Bitcoin. Every time Bitcoin's been in the 0.9 to 1 risk band, we've always had a pullback. This isn't new, okay? So I know you're not going to hear this on very many other channels, but I don't think that Elon is responsible for the drop in Bitcoin earlier this year. At the very least, you know, I mean, Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So it's not like they're a small player, right? They're not a small player here. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, whether Tesla has Bitcoin or not, Bitcoin will survive without Tesla, right? Bitcoin was doing well before Tesla. It'll do well even if Tesla's not on the same side as Bitcoin. But I ultimately think that they are going. It will end up working out. I mean, hopefully Tesla will start accepting Bitcoin again soon. But don't forget that some of these sensationalist headlines you'll see in the media and whatnot about the energy FUD and whatnot by Elon causing the crash. I don't think that's true. We were, in terms of the risk metric, if you just look at where we were on Bitcoin, it was so far extended. We were more than due for a pullback. Okay, we were more than due for a pullback. You look at this chart and you say, well, you can't argue that Tesla has been keeping pace with Bitcoin this market cycle. Just go look. Since 2018, since 2017, this is the Bitcoin market cycle peak back in 2017. During that time, Tesla came down to a low on its valuation against Bitcoin. It then came all the way back up and then back down to that same low, double bottom more or less against Bitcoin, which is somewhat remarkable that this seemingly inconsequential valuation of Tesla Bitcoin does actually have some interesting patterns that professional traders would at least recognize, right? So we look at it from here and we say, well, look at this. We've been keeping pace, despite the fact that Bitcoin has been trending a lot higher this cycle. It's not like the Tesla valuation against Bitcoin has really bled that much. What this means is that an investment in either asset has done exceptionally well over the last few years. Again, if you go look at Bitcoin and we say, let's just take a measured move from the market cycle bottom in December of 2018, and then take it to where we are today, and we're going to look at the returns you would have had in Bitcoin. 1,861%. 1,861%. Now let's go look at Tesla, which is right now trading at $1,069. Let's go look at what it has done since the same time frame. All right, we'll go look since December of 2018. So we're going to go and take a measure move from December of 2018, which is, it's harder to find it because it's right here. And we'll go look at the gains that Tesla has seen over that same period of time. 1,584%. So Bitcoin, 1861, Tesla, 1584. What if we measure it from Tesla's bottom, not Bitcoin's bottom? If you measure it from Tesla's bottom, Tesla is up, goes back to May of 2019. Tesla is up 2,900%, which is actually better than what Bitcoin has done for this market cycle. So do away with this notion in your head that you can only make money on crypto. It's simply not true. You can make money on other assets as well. And really, the key thing to think about is not is it crypto or is it not crypto. The key thing to think about is it a technology that revolutionizes the world in some way? And look, Tesla is much more than just a car company, right? It's much more than just a car company. But is it a technology that revolutionizes the world? And my argument has been, look, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general will revolutionize the world. They're in the process of revolutionizing the world. But in the same manner, you cannot discount the fact that Tesla is also revolutionizing the world. And I would argue that Tesla's valuation will grow significantly over the next decade. All right, that's my argument, is that Tesla's valuation will grow significantly over the next decade. And now it's an exciting time too, because we are in fact in price discovery mode for Tesla. All right. Again, Tesla is up 2,900%. There was a stock split, of course, but again, that's incorporated in this chart, right? That's certainly taken into account. But 2,900% for Tesla. It's pretty significant. All right. Now we can look at some other things. Like, why don't we look at some of the different indicators we look at with Bitcoin? And we'll say, well, what if we put on, let's say, the log of the price over the 20-week? Is there anything to gain from that? Well, what it shows is that based on historical moves, Tesla still has plenty of room to move up from here, right? It still has plenty of room to move up. We've seen extension from the 20-week SMA much more than this in the past. So we still have a lot of room to move up there. If we look at maybe what we did back over here, you can see we came all the way up to 0.68, all right? Or really 0.68, 0.69 or so. Today, this valuation is all the way at 0.37. So in terms of the extension from the 20-week, Tesla has a lot of room to move up. If you go look at some other indicators, we can look at actually the same indicator, but perhaps visualize it in a slightly different way. Compared to what Tesla has done in the past before it had some consequential pullbacks, there still is plenty of upside, right? There still is plenty of upside. So it's just something to keep in mind, right? I do think Tesla is going to continue appreciating in value. I don't really talk about Tesla a lot on the public channel, but we do talk about it more on the premium list. That's into thecryptoverse.com. We talk more about equities and some other things on the premium list. So from here, I think what we're looking for are, how high could we go, right? How high could Tesla go? And are there certain price targets on where we think it should be headed? Well, for me, I do handle stocks in a different way than crypto. With stocks, I'm not usually that worried about an 85% drop, okay, or in index funds, I'm not nearly as worried. But with Tesla today, I mean, I certainly think it's possible that we could go much higher. If you take, say, like a measured move from the extension from the 20-week that we saw back over here, you can see we reached about 76%. If you go look back in July of 2020, we reached 123% above it. If you go back to, say, February of 2020, we reached 120% above it. Today, if we were to take a measured move and say, let's just say from where we currently are, to get 120% above it, I mean, we could be looking at a Tesla valuation closing in on $2,000, depending on how high above 100% it goes. Also, you should remember that the 20-week SMA is a moving target. So today, the 20-week SMA for Tesla is only 740. But assuming that Tesla continues to move up over the next few months, maybe by December, the 20-week SMA could be a lot higher. And if we go use our forecast over here and just predict that, let's say the valuation of Tesla will go up by about 3% each week, then the 20-week moving average, say by the end of December, could be $1,000. And therefore, if we shift this over and say we reach 100% overvaluation from the 20-week estimate, let's say 120% by December, we could be looking at a valuation of Tesla that's double what it is today. All right. So the key thing I want to say here is that sometimes I know people can get upset with regards to Tesla and then the energy FUD related to Bitcoin, what Elon did. Like, I understand that. But at the same time, Tesla did buy $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was already extremely extended. Okay, it was extremely extended at the time already. And so it was almost like the market was looking for a reason. It was a way to rationalize why we had to have a pullback, when in fact, it seemed highly likely that we were going to have a pullback anyways. If you guys go watch my videos on Bitcoin back in April and May, I said we were ahead of schedule. We needed a pullback. And then I think the market just sort of latched onto the idea that, okay, well, it's because of this, or it's because of China, or it's because of something. No, it's not because of anything. The reason, well, maybe it is because of something, is because Bitcoin went into absolute parabolic mania mode for a while, and it needed to cool off some. We barely spent any time between 20K and 60K. So it made sense to come back down, test some lower levels for Bitcoin, go check, all right, we held the line at the 20-week, let's continue higher. All right, so keep that in mind, that it's a way for the market to rationalize what is going on, all right? Another thing I'd like to say, if you do have an issue with it, also consider this, are you going to let something like that stand in the way of you making money on an investment, right? I'm not saying I know that Tesla's going to go up. I think Tesla will go up. I could be wrong, right? I mean, it could crash for all I know. But the point is if you think it's going to go up, is it really worth not making money on it just because you don't like what happened? I don't think so. I think it's more important just to make money, to be completely honest, but I understand that not everyone will share that sentiment. Anyways, right now, I do think it's an exciting time for Tesla. We are back in price discovery mode. If we go look at this on the weekly, you can in fact see that we are now pushing new highs. We're moving up pretty much every day right now over the last several weeks. If we go look at the daily time frame, you can see that we're just going into this another parabolic move, and we've seen these before. And look, I think it's just going to continue moving higher over the macro scale. We're going to have pullbacks along the way, of course. Nothing increases monotonically except maybe Bitcoin in Q4 of 2020. Nothing increases monotonically. But when we look at this, we have to say Tesla will likely increase with value, or it likely will increase in value with time. And my guess is it's going to become one of the most valued companies later on this decade. I mean, it's already pushing higher and higher. I'm guessing it's going to keep on climbing. That's what I think. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the Telegram channel. Remember, that is Into the Equityverse. You'll find a link to that Telegram channel in the description below. And I'll also pin it in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.